Guys, welcome back to the Pierce Wildlife Podcast.
Welcome, welcome.
Hello.
What's up, Coleman?
It's been a long time, fellas. I missed
Glad to
you.
see you back, bud.
I've been thinking about y'all every day.
It's been a month.
It doesn't seem like it's that long, but I guess I was working out here doing some stuff for Dwight, so I felt like I was here every day, and then missed the last one, man. It was just, it's husband duties.
Yep.
My father-in-law, or I guess my wife planned it ahead, but showed up, and I'm like, well, what time's he coming? She's like, 5 for dinner, and I'm like, well, that's not going to work. So it is what it is, though. Love my father-in-law. Shout out to him. Love him. But
there you go.
Hate I missed it.
Do you randomly get last-minute notifications and they're like, well, this has been on the schedule, or we've had this planned, and I'm like, are you sure?
Well, she made me get an app on my phone that we share a calendar, which is great because for our restroom business, to put the dates on there for anything we're doing as a, family events.
Right.
And she wants me to add stuff in there. I add stuff occasionally if it's something like that I need her to know that I'm doing. Like, I don't want her to say, get mad, I'll put a coyote hunt on there. It's a coyote hunt Saturday. I'll put it on there.
I normally tell Robin, I just tell her, and she goes in and puts it on the calendar, and I get all the alerts and everything. She handles it. I don't have to worry about a lot.
That's
nice.
I'm telling you, dude, it's awesome.
I don't know if I forget or if I'm not told sometimes.
It's forget, yeah.
It's probably forget, but sometimes people are like, hey, we got this going on, and I'm like, got all
Well, she'll put it on the calendar and then just be like, it's been on the calendar. I'm like, I'm not scrolling through the calendar like social media every day to look at it. And maybe I should.
You can change the alerts on it, though, to give you an alert the day ahead of, a week
just
ahead of.
Just agree with me, man. Just say I'm right.
Okay, you're right.
You're giving her too much credit.
All I'm saying is, good job, Destiny.
Yeah, she keeps my life together for sure. So, I mean, I'd be wearing shorts today in the cold if it wasn't for her. So
she told you the temperature.
Well, no, she just washed my pants.
Oh, okay.
I only have
Does she lay your clothes out for you?
Doesn't lay them out, but I only have a few pair of pants, and it's been real wet and muddy.
Yeah.
So
they're definitely on the bed when he wakes up, though.
Probably.
I usually, I'll wear pants 2 or 3 times before I wash them. If they're not getting disgusting, it's like an outer layer for me at work.
Yeah.
They're gonna get sawdust on them.
Right.
But let's use them 2 or 3 times. Let's be efficient. But these last few weeks with this mud, I mean, you just look like an insane person showing up at the breakfast place with pants that look like you've been mud bogging. So shout out to her, man. I love her. She's the greatest thing that ever happened to me and that ever will happen to me. I love you, babe.
Awesome.
So what you been up to these past couple of weeks anyways?
Shoot, man. Working, trying to sell generators. If anybody wants to buy one.
You have some? Like you have them?
Oh, I got them.
You've already bought them. You need to sell them.
Well, I have a partner, so he has bought them through his dealership. And so, yeah, if you want a home generator, holler at me. And then just been working on other stuff, my contracting stuff, and shooting coyotes. Shot 6 coyotes in 2 days.
Dang.
Last weekend.
That's awesome.
That is good.
And that's different properties, but, one night went to one place, shot 1, went to the second place, shot 2. Next night, just kind of the same scenario. Actually, the second night, we shot 2 at one place, and I got home at 2 o'clock in the morning. My wife was at work. I stepped out of the truck, one house. I know exactly where he's at across the road, literally across the road from my house. I have permission to hunt there. So I jumped across the fence, put my gun up on the fence, and shot that one. So that made 6 in a weekend.
That's awesome.
They're fired up right now. This is like getting into their prime season.
Yeah. Full moon, too.
Yeah, full moon, and this is when they love to go, especially February.
It makes me feel like I'm a better coyote hunter now, but it's just, they just come in the first time you play a call. It's like,
oh, yeah, right now they are active for sure.
What y'all been up to? What y'all been up to? Just working?
Yep, just working. I took Darla out quail hunting a couple weeks ago, and, she's only 7 months. Man, she's really doing jam up.
That's good.
Like, we went out there, there was probably 8 guns or so and whatnot, and we had, my buddy brought his dog out there, and a couple other buddies brought theirs, but then the guy that we were hunting with actually had like a trained, like, the guy who works his dogs, like, they're trained dogs. Like, these are professional pointers, professional flush
Yours
dogs.
Is a Brittany?
Mine's a Brittany. it's technically, she's technically a pointer, but took her out there, and it took her a little while to kind of like spread her wings and start running around, but she ended up pointing a bird, and then she also retrieved 4 birds, a couple of them not being mine, but it was cool because like the first time she retrieved one, there was 2 dogs running around looking for this bird, and man, she found it, picked it up.
That's awesome.
And like dipped. She was also running, hair, ears flopping back. She was looking back, making sure the other dogs weren't chasing her. She was man hauling mail.
Do you compare that like to watching your kid take its first steps? Like a dog getting his first couple retrieves. Because I don't have kids, so I don't. But I know when Flint got his first duck, it was like it meant the world.
Oh,
I don't know if I would compare it to that, but I'm gonna tell you this: you couldn't tell me nothing when she brought that first bird back, and all them other dogs were looking for it, and then the other, like she got one quail, it was still live, like she just found it and caught it, brought it back to me, like it did.
You need to just do that.
You didn't even have to shoot that one.
You need to do that. That's a lot easier.
No wasted shells.
Right. Just say, go, go.
But I'm telling you, you could not tell me nothing. It was awesome.
That's good.
Which while we were out there, we got through hunting, and the guy that was down there that had his dogs down there, he ended up helping us clean these birds. It's a pretty unique way. Like, you can like kind of like, what do they call us? There's 100 ways to skin a cat. Ain't that the saying? But
yeah.
So with quail and small game like that, there's probably 100 ways to do it as well. But this was a pretty unique way. Normally with quail, the legs are good, the wings are good, breast is good, everything on it's good. The problem is they're just small. Everything about it, there's not much meat.
Right.
So when we were cleaning these birds, it was skin them, which some people leave the skin on them, and fry them with the skin, because I've done that a couple times. That's really good. But the way he showed us was pretty unique. Skin it, pull all the skin off, cut the head, cut the feet, wings. But then what he did was he cut the tail out, cut up both sides of the backbone, and pulled the backbone and all of the guts out in one stride. And then he just had the whole bird with the legs and breast and the half of the wing and everything. Like he took some shears and went up the backbone on both sides and just pulled the whole thing out.
When people do that, I'm like, why haven't I been doing this my whole life?
I know.
Even with the dove, every time I go, somebody's like, oh, you don't know how to do it this way? They just yank something and it's perfect.
Yeah. So that's how I've always done them. Like I just break the wings, pull the breast. It's simple. But I like the legs. There's just not a lot of meat on it. But the fact was what I was able to do from that point is I was able to cut the legs, pull the breast, fry the breast, fry the legs separately. And it was so easy. But, it's just fun cleaning birds and cleaning different animals like that, because wild game is so good to eat.
Oh, man. It's
every
really
bit
good.
of it.
Right. Do you do it? Did you do a lot of quail hunting growing up or anything like that?
Yeah, we had more quail back when I was younger than we do now.
Is this wild quail you're hunting, or is it like released birds?
These are released birds.
Yeah.
Now there are wild quail around here,
because a lot of that's really about just the dogs and watching the dogs. I've been on one that we won at a Ducks Unlimited banquet, and watching the dogs was so cool. I mean,
yeah,
that was my favorite.
That's
part.
the best part, honestly. It was. I mean, to me, watching them pointers point, and then him sending that flush dog in, it's incredible.
That's what Sawyer
awesome.
needs to do.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
75-pound boykin.
He
needs to be a flush dog. He'll flush him.
Well, really, he could.
Yeah, he's schizophrenic. He would just freak out. He'd be barking at the sky. He's got some issues, man. We're working on it.
Yeah.
75 pounds.
Dude, he's a unit. And he's mean and he's weird. He just goes outside, you call him in, if you start calling him in too aggressively, he'll just sit down and look at you. And it makes you more mad, so you yell more, and it scares him more. And then he just cowls down, and then it makes you more mad, and it continues till you walk out there and pick him up and just throw him towards where you want him to go. And he'll go inside. He's a mess, dude. He's got mats on him. He's just, I love him.
There you go.
But yeah, those dogs are bad to the bone.
They're nuts. It's pretty incredible.
My dog just eats his own shit.
Oh, lovely. You know what they call those?
What?
Been training him for months. At least he cleans up after himself.
Yeah, that's true.
My neighbors don't get mad.
He's a recycler.
It's disgusting.
So funny. Like, do you even want to pet him at that point? Like,
he really doesn't do that, but if he did, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
He digs holes in mud, stuff like that, rolls around. We have a leaf blower we keep on the porch. He'll just go roll around,
Blow off his
and he
crap
just gets
that's on
stuff
the
on.
porch.
It's like he's just saying, "How much can I get on me before I get inside and just wreak havoc?" So yeah, my lab's a precious angel. So nothing. Yeah. He doesn't do anything wrong ever.
There you go.
So, talking about cleaning birds and whatnot, do you eat any squirrel or rabbit?
Only if I'm lost in the wilderness alone.
Okay.
And I've been out there for quite a while.
So never.
Not often. So
it's not my first choice.
Right. So I got a video on YouTube on how to clean squirrel and rabbit. I'll, link it to this episode, but that's one of my favorites. But what would you say your favorite wild game is?
Dwight, you go first.
Favorite wild game to eat?
Yeah.
Zebra.
I don't know. I love deer. I'd have to say deer. I love deer. Yeah. So venison, would probably be top of my list.
I love a good dove bird.
Yeah.
If we're gonna pick birds, I would say.
I mean, does that count?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say dove.
Dove. I love quail. Actually, quail is good.
Crow.
Wood ducks.
Eat crow.
Yeah.
Eat crow. Yeah, crow's pretty good if you fry it. I don't know. My wife's not a huge, oh, babe, you shot that. Let's skin it up and cook it. She's not big on that.
Yeah.
But
all of the wild game that we eat in my house, I have to cook it.
Yeah.
Unless it's deer. Eden will cook that, and she is a great cook.
Yeah.
So whatever she makes is good. But like the dove, the quail, rabbits, whatever like that, that's generally me cooking. And I don't think it's because I think a lot of it's just like when you think about that stuff or you see the hair on it, even though you clean it the best you can, like that messes with people's mind a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
Not you.
Well, if you tried some of it,
No, I'm saying it doesn't mess with your mind.
Oh, yeah.
Currie's just
ripping
into it. You do get used to it though.
Yeah,
and
if
you're around people that are not used to it, they're like, oh my god,
in the world.
So I would say I have two. I would say my land is elk. Me and my buddy Brian, we was down in Seminole, man. We had a friend of ours give us some elk meat, and we cut up some cans on a little open fire while we were sleeping in the boat, which we'll tell more story about that. We had to save our spot pretty much for a hunt, but we'll get into that later. But the point is we cooked up some of them nuggets, man. That was some incredible meat.
Elk is pretty good. No, hadn't had it much, but
yeah, it was.
I do like it.
Incredible. Mm-hmm. But I would say my favorite bird is woodcock, which we're gonna quickly tell everyone what their name that everyone knows them by is snipe.
That's right. It's a snipe.
Okay,
you ever been a snipe?
Okay, I was going to say I've never heard of woodcock. Never heard of that. And snipe, when I think snipe hunting.
Okay.
Exactly.
This is exactly why
This is a weird topic. Now.
Okay, this is about to be fun.
Okay.
So when I was growing up,
long time ago.
Well, you too. You're not that much behind.
I can't tell you how many kids I took snipe hunting. It was fun.
So when you take kids snipe hunting, a lot of what you think of and remember is they go off in the woods with a flashlight and a bag, and then they're left in the woods.
It's cool how everyone's version of it is the same. Because I was gonna wonder if you did the bag thing. We just said flop it up and down.
Yep.
They'll fly into it. You just got to keep doing it. And the dummy's standing in the woods with the Walmart bag, and it takes them a while to realize that it's the guys I've taken, you're sitting there like, all right, guys, should we just tell them? They're out there for a minute,
right?
Oh, it's fun.
Never catch any either.
Oh no! So I found out in my years of snipe hunting that I understand, I think, where that came from. I think it was legit in the day, and I'm going to tell you why. So snipe is actually a pretty, I wouldn't say common, but it's not uncommon to have snipe in this area.
No, we see a lot around here.
Especially in
On your when you have a hunting license, they ask you how
Do you
many
shoot-
snipe did you
exactly.
bag? And I've always
Snipe-
wondered about it.
exactly.
I'm like, what?
So they're very common in like kind of wet, swampy, heavy brush areas. That is where you generally are going to find them. Well, that being said, I guess my first time shooting one was probably 15 years ago. I was probably 18 and we were shooting wood ducks behind the house, and one flew over and I shot it. And man, it took us forever. Like we were Googling this thing and like, what is this? And
Is
finally,
this a cinnamon teal?
What kind of bird is this?
and finally realized, okay, this is a snipe. So the long story short of that is, after the years of figuring out how to hunt these birds, a lot of the times you can find these birds in the dark, very active. And when you're shining a spotlight, now this is not the legal way to hunt them. And I'm not saying I hunt them like this, but this is what you generally
how we
can
see
do
them.
to find them.
Mm-hmm.
You take your spotlight, you'll see a bright green glow in these wet, bushy areas, and you get close to them, and sure as well, most of the time it's going to be a snipe. Well, if you keep your light on them, you can actually get within a foot or two away from them. And I think that's where the whole idea of taking
Trying to catch them.
young people or people that don't know snipe hunting.
With a Walmart bag.
Yeah, who knows? I mean,
That's interesting.
probably not a Walmart bag when it first originated. But
Well, you always just told me a bag, not technically any bag, just
Well,
a
we just
bag.
had
well, a
them
paper
all- we
bag
just
always
had
made the
one, yeah.
paper bag always made the best sound when you hold it in your hand. You act like you catch one,
Yeah.
and you throw your rock or whatever you got, just throw it in the bag, and you just shake it around. You
I had
just
a-
keep shaking the
I had
bag
one
like
of
you.
my
Oh, I got one! I got one! I got one! And the kids are all bunching up and wanting to watch it. Oh, let's see this thing! Let's see this thing! And then when you open it up, there's nothing there, and everybody's like, "Oh man, we've been out here this long for that."
We weren't even that nice, and it's probably bullying now. Nowadays, you probably get canceled or get arrested or something crazy for it. We just take them out there, hold this bag, it'll fly in here, come back when you get one, and just leave them. And it would, I mean, I'm talking about over an hour. They're just out there until they realize like nothing's happening, and then they walk back. It's
Right.
it's a very mean prank,
It's a very mean prank.
but it's,
I
mean,
didn't
it's
kind of do it
But
that way. Actually,
also, it is fun, and it's a core memory for a lot of people.
right because you say it in a group of people, and
well,
somebody-
here we are
everybody's like,
talking about it.
Everyone's like, "Oh, snipe hunt."
Snipe
and then you
hunt.
got some people are like, "What are y'all talking about? Snipe hunt?" And you're like, "You're next, buddy."
Yeah. You want to go snipe hunting? Man, I'd love to take you.
I had a friend get bit by a venomous snipe one time on a snipe hunt.
Here we go.
I don't even. know
Welcome
what we're
back,
talking
Coleman.
about.
I was sitting here thinking, like, where are we going
So
with that?
a woodcock is a snipe.
So woodcock is a snipe. And that's where I was going. That is actually my favorite bird animal to eat.
I was gonna say, I forgot that meat's pretty good.
That is one of the best. Like quail is good. Dove is good. Snipe is the best.
Yep.
Well, we're gonna have to. Can we kill one now?
We may. Oh, no. Actually, no. Season's over.
I promise
As
you,
of
we can
January.
ride across the
I
field
thought
and
you
see
said
them.
whenever you're out spotlighting for deer, you see them all the time.
More spotlight.
Well, their season ends.
I don't think that
end
was
of
the
January. It's actually pretty close to, because I'm gonna tell you something kind of cool about woodcock and snipe /snipe, because it's the same thing, but they're not technically the same thing. There's a couple little, but anyways, Georgia is generally woodcock, so they're actually migratory birds. They don't live here in Georgia year round. They migrate. I didn't know that.
Snipe?
That explains why they're on that list.
I didn't know that.
When you're doing your license, they're on that list.
And it makes sense because that's why you have to have a migratory bird stamp to
I
hunt 'em.
thought we seen them all the time though, all year round.
I don't
When we're riding across the fields and stuff.
I
wood-
don't generally
a wood
remember
duck,
seeing
You
them.
see a wood duck
Maybe
year
not.
round.
I might be thinking differently.
Now
just-
I have seen them later in spring, which is where I was about to get to. I think the last that I remember seeing them is probably March, April, but March to June in Georgia, or March to June period, is actually their breeding season. But I'll tell you something wild about them too. most of them live less than a year long.
Interesting.
But they have caught some banded that has been over 5 years.
Could it be something like, obviously ducks are migratory? This might be the stupidest thing ever to say, but like we have local wood ducks. Could it be like that? I mean, where you
Probably
just have local ones that are here year round and they're not migrating.
Maybe
down
so.
here.
That's what I was just thinking.
But you know what's wild? You don't see very many wood ducks during the summer here. Like even when we're at the river fishing, and we'll be there all day, all afternoon, and you generally, like, I don't even know that there's many wood ducks stay around. You know, I'm not saying they don't. I'm just saying not many do.
That's because they're at Billy's down the road
Yeah,
with the golden nugget.
golden nuggets. A little bit of syrup in the pond.
If they're flying south for the winter, maybe they're flying north for the summer. Who knows?
They all go up there to your church, don't they?
Yeah.
The pond.
Ever since that guy
A lot
built
of
that
geese.
big, whatever that thing is, across the road from the church, from First Assembly, which shout out to First Assembly, we love y'all. That have you seen that almost conservation that he is building, like 3 lakes? Dude, there are times that there's,
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I'm not joking when I say there's times where I probably see 1,000 geese out there on that land.
Tons. That's a beautiful piece of property too.
Growing up, we used to drive by First Assembly, and we always made the joke like, "Hop out real quick, shoot and scoop outdoors, jump out, shoot all those." I mean, there was geese there and ducks there all the time.
They walk across the road.
Yeah.
And there's nothing in the laws
Why did the goose cross the road?
that says you cannot hit a goose with your car out of season. Right?
Okay.
Getting gray here.
Where are we going here?
I'm just saying, I never did it, but I did try hard, really.
Oh God.
Currie's driving by, just blowing his call out the window. Or he's just sitting in the turn-in lane waiting on one. He's like, "Oh, he's coming. He's about to cross. He's about to cross."
Is that called the goose pooping boogie?
Yeah.
Dun-dun, ching.
Was that?
That was a drum.
I figured.
Ting. I don't know how to do the cymbal.
Honestly.
Try it one time. See if you can do it. If you're going to make fun of me about
What?
it. See if you can do it. I
Well, I
just
would
told
think-
a funny joke, though.
Wah, wah, wah.
All right, so most people I would think do the whole.
There you go.
Cymbals don't make that sound. There's a ting in them.
Well,
There is a ting about them.
You do it, then.
I
And
just-
blah, 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 blah. Funniest joke ever. Bam. Go. Do it.
No.
See? Because you know you can't do it. I was right. Bum, bum. Ting.
Well, I will say the second one was better.
Okay.
The first one, I wasn't ready. It was my first attempt.
He wasn't
I
ready.
don't practice doing that every day.
Okay.
Why not?
Sit in my truck,
I feel like you should.
you know. Bum, tung. Oh, it's too low. I'll work on it, though. I'll perfect it.
Kind of like a duck call. You got to practice.
But basically, to get back to that, you know, the best way to find them is to know where they are, is to find them in the dark. And then you can point them, you know, with dogs and flush them. You're supposed to technically hunt them like quail, but you find them in the dark mostly.
My favorite thing to do in the dark, you know what it is?
What?
Go deer hunting in the dark. If we could do that, man, I actually wrote a song about it. I've been writing these little stupid funny songs, and I want to show y'all. I'm not trying to get famous off of this, and I know I might. I already have so much going on, but
Yeah.
you know, I'd rather be a carpenter than a famous country singer,
Oh, yeah.
obviously.
Right.
So, but I want to share it with y'all. So let's take a listen. So this song is called "If Tomorrow Night I Hunt." It's a rendition off of
If Tomorrow Never Comes,
Bye.
Garth Brooks.
There you go. It's a Garth
There you
Brooks
go.
song. I love Garth Brooks, so here we go. This one's a little different than that song. But sometimes late at night, I lie awake and watch my cell cam. He always comes to eat, so I turn off my phone while he eats corn in the dark. And the
thought crosses my mind.
Sound good.
If I didn't wait till the morning, the game warden find out that I went out there and shot him in the dark.
Dang, Coleman.
If tomorrow I took my gun and hunted him at midnight, I know he would come in and my thermal sighted in. The ship would be so fun. And if I kill that buck real soon and don't get caught, I'll be so happy. 'Cause I'd go to jail real fast and that hunt would be my last. If tomorrow night I hunt.
So, yeah, man. That's just the kind of things I think about.
Dude, it sounds really good and it's very funny.
Yeah, a lot of people say
So
that.
you might get a record deal off of this.
Well, like I said, man, I'm really into carpentry now. I'm not big time into making any more money than I already do. I make a lot now, so
Right.
I don't want any.
I'd hate to see you on stages too. And
Dude, if I had a tour bus, I really would self-destruct if I had that kind of money. I would self-destruct.
Oh, wow.
But
so we were getting ready to go for our cruise, and Forrest, man, sometimes he's stubborn.
how old is he?
He's 5. He's stubborn. And he got aggravated about something. He decided he didn't want to go on this cruise anymore.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. He's like, I don't want to go.
Wonder who
And kept saying it. I'm not going. I don't want to go. He gets home from school. He opens his suitcase that Eden has been packing.
He did not.
He takes everything out of it
Oh, my God.
and hides every single one of his swimsuits.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Wonder who he got that from.
He is bound
So,
to determine he's not going.
He's not going.
Okay.
It is funny though.
That is so funny.
Like that's gonna be,
Oh.
like you're gonna be like, oh, no swim trunks. Dang it.
Yeah.
Guess we can't go.
I'd like to do a little quick shout out too, actually. Your mom and I is going to have a 38th anniversary,
Wow.
Valentine's Day. So
38 years.
38 years. And
That's
she
a
is
big
my lovely
accomplishment.
bride. And I'm telling you, it's been awesome.
That's awesome.
Yep. It's a good woman. She's taking care of us.
Love to see marriages last.
I can't even imagine being with my wife that long. Goodness gracious.
She's my Valentine.
Have you said, wait, did she ask you or you asked her? Seriously.
No, I definitely ask her.
My wife asked me. Still haven't decided yet. That's true. Did you ask Eden?
Well, yes, but the problem is Forrest already asked her.
Dang it,
So
dude.
she's already, I guess.
Do you want to be mine, Currie?
Yeah, we could be Valentine's.
Just kidding, dude. I'm not like that.
Okay, bro. I was planning on asking my daughter anyways.
We got to get Trump in here to fix all this stuff.
We'll just hire Doge.
We got to hire Doge to get rid of these guys trying to be Valentines with other guys.
Right. All right, guys. And don't forget, like always, if it makes you shake, don't wait, don't hesitate. Shoot that thing.